I never used to look at walking as any type or form of fitness, being active, anything like that. When I thought of being active, I thought of running, going on the treadmill, walking on the Stairmaster, doing high intensity interval workout classes, anything but walking. But when I learned that walking has so many benefits where it can lower the risk of heart disease, lower the risk of so many health issues, and also aid in weight loss and so many other benefits, and that's when I realized I need to start incorporating walking into my daily routine. There are some things about the concept of walking, especially 10,000 steps a day, and 10,000 steps a day has been seen as that marker for reaching those benefits where you're getting the weight loss, where you're getting the benefits of lowering your risk for different health issues. And I want to talk about the things that go with the 10,000 steps a day that is not talked about enough, the truth about walking 10,000 steps a day, because I've been doing it for a long time now, and I just want to talk about some of those things that they don't talk about. If you're new here, my name is Coco. I talk all things fitness, self-development, and wellness, and I'm also a registered nurse, so you might as well subscribe and join the tribe. And also make sure to like this video if you're ready to be consistent with your walking. And yeah, so one of the first things when it comes to 10,000 steps a day is it can definitely aid in weight loss. I lost over 35 pounds with walking 10,000 steps a day. However, it is not 10,000 steps a day alone that accomplishes that. And I think that is a hard reality check to understand for a lot of people. So a lot of times we think 10,000 steps a day, I'm going to start walking. I want to lose weight. So all I need to do is strap up my shoes and start going on daily walks. Well, it's not that simple. Walking in and of itself is a wonderful way to get exercise. But if that is the only thing that you're relying on to see improvement in your body, weight loss, and benefits, then you might be sadly mistaken, because it takes more than just walking itself. There's other habits that need to be incorporated as well, and I had to learn that the hard way. I could not continue eating the same way that I used to eat before and expect to see results with my walking. So I had to realize that I had to actually eat healthier, and I had to actually pay attention to what I ate. So when I say that, making sure that I was fueling my body with whole foods, vegetables, fruit, lean meats like fish, ground turkey, things like that. So not thinking that I could just continue to eat whatever I want and just go walk my 10,000 steps a day and call it a day and I will be good and I'll be on my way to weight loss. No. If I continued eating like I was, where I just wake up and eat a donut, cereal, French toast, and then midday go get cookies, all those things add up so fast. And then the only thing at that point that I'm changing is maybe I'm not gaining as much weight because now I'm getting a calorie deficit from the walks, but I'm still in a calorie surplus with what I'm eating. So that is one thing I think a lot of times gets neglected. I'm just going to walk these 10,000 steps a day, but I'm going to eat the same way, if not worse. Then that is not going to help accomplish any type of goals if that's the case. And speaking of the types of food and eating healthier, also having to understand that the more that you start to walk, I know before I started getting 10,000 steps a day, I was not getting anywhere near that. So once I jumped from getting, say, like steps a day to all of a sudden getting 10,000, then my appetite started to go up. And I won't say ravenously, like I go running, things like that, but it still is a noticeable increase. So I had to realize that I needed to prepare for that, understand that I will be a little hungrier because I'm exerting energy, especially if I'm going on like brisk walk, if it's involving hills, if my heart rate is getting up, then I have to prepare and be ready for that spike in hunger. So if you plan to fail, so it's really all about having a plan, knowing, okay, I'm probably going to be a little hungrier. Let me have these healthy foods prepared and ready to go after my walks, right? Like, okay, I'm going to go on this long walk and then I'm going to go shopping. Well, I'm going to be starving at that point, and I'm probably going to want to reach for foods that I probably should not be eating. So that was something that I had to realize. It's like, and anticipating the fact that I will be hungry, but getting ahead of that, having fruits already cut up, having vegetables already cut up, having my meats prepared already, having things just ready to go so that once I come back from my walk, like not a guessing game of what I'm gonna eat, and now I'm just gonna grab something out of the cabinet that I know I shouldn't be eating. So that was another thing, and just being prepared. And the next thing was understanding that strength training is also important. So we think of 10,000 steps a day, and it's like, okay, I just want to lose this weight. I want to just get the 10,000 steps and go for my walks. That is wonderful, but strength training is, once I started incorporating that, is where I really started to see a lot of change, because muscle burns fat, and muscle burns fat at rest. So when we're building muscle, then it's able to work for us and burn fat, and it helps us to do so in a sustainable way. And it also helps to get toned. So like we say, like, I want to get more toned, I want that toned look, then strength training will expedite that process so much. I do notice that even from walking alone, that also helps to tone my legs and things like that. However, strength training takes it to a whole nother level, arm definition, things like that. And then also, like I said, strength training just helps to accelerate the process, speeds up the metabolism. Also, is building muscle, which will burn fat. And those, like, together is just an amazing combination. So a lot of times people say, like, one, should I just do walking, or should I do strength training? Which one should I do first? Like, I think doing them both. You go to the gym, like, incorporating, for me, I will do strength training like 3 times a week now. Do it about 3 times a week, and then I try and get my 10,000 steps in a day, pretty much every day. So I incorporate it on my walks outside, or the weather doesn't permit, then I will go on the treadmill. But it is a combination of the two that I have found that works true wonders, and has helped me to lose the weight, but not only just lose it, but keep it off, because I feel like the walking is very sustainable. It doesn't feel as strenuous, it doesn't feel dreadful. Like, I look forward to my walks. Like, I love going to walk outside, I love exploring new neighborhoods, I love getting vitamin D from the sun. So many benefits, but at the same time, knowing that strength training is important too. So the balance and the combination, like I said, it just really is chef's kiss, and it's amazing with the results that you can get. So another thing is just understanding not to overdo it, because I think it's easy to say, like, going from 0 steps, now I'm gonna go like to 10,000. And I think it's really important to ease into change, especially from being really sedentary. For me, that's how it was. Like, I worked from home, I was barely getting any steps in. And so to try and go from like getting any steps to just straight up trying to get 10,000 steps a day every single day, gradually working up to that, can be very daunting, can feel not like sustainable, can feel like too much and too quick. And that a lot of times can make it easy to just want to quit, right? If we start out like that intensely, and we don't give our bodies like a chance to that, we don't give our bodies a chance to rest or anything like that, then it can feel like too daunting. It can feel like, okay, I'm just gonna quit altogether, this was too much, versus like into that, doing it gradually, doing it maybe, okay, if you're only getting like steps a day, you're really sedentary, then like to get to 3,000 steps a day, and then trying to get to 5,000, and then maybe 7,000, but gradually working your way up to that, versus saying like, at home all day, I sit down all day, and now I'm just gonna go straight to 10,000 steps a day. That can be a little much, and that's where your body can start to get sore. That's where it can feel like, okay, I don't feel like going for a walk at all tomorrow. So like overdoing it, I know even for myself, like I started to get more and higher steps, and it's like, okay, I want to try and get 12,000, or now I want to try and get 15,000, or so a lot of times my body feels like getting more steps, like I have the energy, I will go for it, but I'm also not going to overdo it and overstrain my body. And I'm going to make sure that I'm doing it in a sustainable way so that I don't want to give up altogether, which leaves you in an even worse predicament than you were before, because now you're like, okay, I'm just quitting altogether, versus like doing this gradually so I don't start to hate it and my body doesn't just start to dread it as well. Another thing to understand is that walking 10,000 steps a day takes time. I remember thinking, like, when I first started, I'm looking at my watch, like, am I at 10,000 steps yet? It's not gonna 20 minutes, not gonna take you 30 minutes. It's going to take a little bit of time. So understanding that and embracing that, and not looking at it as like, oh gosh, like, am I at 10,000 steps yet? Like, let me look at my watch again. Like, where are we so far? Just kind of embracing that, understanding, like, it's gonna take maybe an hour and a half, you know, on how quick you walk, and being able to carve that time out. We all have really busy lives, so just to be able to go on a walk for that long is the privilege to have that time. Then planning for that, so you might take waking up earlier in the morning, or you know, switching some things around in the afternoon so that you're able to go on the walk in the afternoon, or breaking it up, going like minutes in the morning, maybe on your lunch break, and then also in the evening. So whatever works, but understanding that it does take time so that you don't give yourself these unrealistic expectations and feeling like, okay, you mean I'm not at 10,000 steps yet? Like, I've been walking for 40 minutes. It takes time. And I think breaking it up makes it so much more doable, and makes it less daunting, and makes it more fun, and doesn't, you know, feel as like mundane. Another thing too is just understanding that it can start to feel mundane after a certain point. So making sure to incorporate like incentives with it. Like, we'll go and try out a new coffee shop on my walks. Like, we'll go try routes. I'll go walk by the water. I'll go walk at a new park. I'll go walk in a new neighborhood. I will go, you know, different cities. I'll go drive somewhere and walk in a different area, just so that I'm getting like different perspective, and it doesn't feel so monotonous where it's just like the same thing over and over again. Because if you're taking the same walking path every single day, like, it can start to feel, it can get old, can get boring. The same way like the treadmill, if that's the only way that you're able to do it, like, weather's not always great, we don't always have walkable neighborhoods, so the treadmill is a great option. I go on the treadmill a lot myself. And then to switch it up there, a new podcast episode, creating a new playlist to listen to look forward to that. Netflix on your phone, watching it on there, like an episode on there, or, you know, on TikTok, or watching YouTube, like the case may be, while on that walk, can make it so much more enjoyable, and again, less so mundane of the same, like the same treadmill, listen to the same playlist, switching it up so it feels more enjoyable. So that is another thing that I think needs to be emphasized more with walking 10,000 steps a day, is just like switch up the walk routine, get a little more fun, like put an incline sometimes, so like even challenges your body a little bit, finding different ways. Like, love listening to a new podcast episode, or watching one of my favorite YouTubers, kind of forgetting about the walk, not focusing on it that much. And then the last thing just is understanding just to be patient overall with your goals, whether it's weight loss, whether it's getting more toned, whether it's being healthier, just being consistent, getting some type of activity, being patient with yourself with those goals, and not being in a rush to get to any, like I said, if you're trying to get to the 10,000 steps, or you're trying to lose weight, just being patient with yourself, giving yourself grace, enjoying the walking journey. I have just fallen in love with walking. It has become something that I look forward to, that my body just is so used to at this point, where it's just like, okay, wake up in the morning. It's a way to de-stress, to regulate my body. I'll go in the afternoon too, like a really stressful day. It is just one of the best ways to unwind and not feel so, the best way to unwind. And again, it's just like something that's so accessible. Like, you don't have to, and I don't have to, like, oh my gosh, I don't have the energy to like jump in up on boxes or go on a Stairmaster running. It just is something that I can just kind of ease into, and that's one of my favorite things about it. So let me know down in the comments which of these you feel like resonate the most with you, and if you're ready to get on your walking journey, where you are in your walking journey, let me know. And of course, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and make sure to like this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.